Hi everyone, my name is Shifa Nazir and I'm a GMC registered doctor from India. I finally received my certificate of sponsorship and went through the entire process of visa application quite recently, and I'm really excited to share my experience with you. So if you are looking up information on COS, how to apply for visa, what are the documents and TB testing, etc., this video is for you. Let's begin. Let's begin with the COS. So once you've been successful at an interview and you receive the job offer, which could be in the form of a PDF or a typed down email mentioning all the information related to your employment, once that is received, you can then expect another email from the HR or the recruitment team containing a couple of documents which you need to fill in. Most of them are self-explanatory, related to new starter information, model declaration form, NHS pension scheme. So these are the documents that I received from my trust. So once you fill that in, you can then wait for the COS. So what is the COS? COS is basically a certificate of sponsorship which is authorized by the Home Office in the UK. And the whole process of application, the payment for it, everything is taken care of by the trust. That is the employer that is giving you the job. So you don't have to worry about the cost for COS, it will be purely taken care of by the trust. So once you receive the COS, it contains all the information related to the employee and the employer, the NHS trust, the address, what sort of employment you are in, if it's a shortage occupancy list, and what sort of visa you will be needing, and similar other information. And once you scroll down, you will see a column which asks for certifying maintenance. So what does it mean? So this means that the employer is willing to sponsor for your financial needs for the first month of starting the employment before receiving the first paycheck. So how does it help? It helps mainly when you apply for visa. If the employer has ticked yes in that column, you do not have to submit your bank documents or statements or even have a sufficient bank balance while applying for visa. So you might want to have a discussion about certifying maintenance to the HR or the recruitment team once you've received the job offer. How long does it take to receive the COS? It can take somewhere between a couple of days, weeks, to maybe months. So it all depends on how fast the trust is going ahead with the applications and how fast they want you to start the job. So it would be a good idea to mail the HR or the recruitment team and just keep, ask for any updates related to the process so that you know that things are happening and you can join work on time. So let's say the COS takes like 3 weeks for you, like it did for me. So in this 3 weeks, there are a couple of things that you can do to save time once you receive the COS. Mainly, start your police clearance certificate application and work on your TB testing appointment. I will talk about them in detail later on, but these two things can be done ahead before you receive your COS. All you need to know is the address of the employer, and that's all you need to know. You don't have to have the COS before you apply for these two. And that's pretty much it about the COS. Now let's move on to the visa processes. What sort of visa are you applying? It is skilled worker visa. You can see this information on gov.uk website and also on the certificate of sponsorship clearly mentioned. So for doctors and most of the healthcare workers, our visa comes under shortage occupancy list. So the VFS Global takes care of UK visas and immigration processes in India. And once you log into their website, you will see step-by-step information on how to apply for visa and what are all the documents needed. So to precisely speak about it, we are applying for a skilled worker visa, which was previously known as the Tier 2 work visa. So what are the documents that you need to apply for skilled worker visa? First and foremost, the certificate of sponsorship. And you can only apply for visa once you have that in your hand. Secondly, proof of English language, can be IELTS or VT, and it is not necessary if you can show proof of GMC registration. The proof of GMC registration is available for download in the GMC website under the My Register column, so that is something that you can attach. Thirdly, you need a valid passport, and if you have any expired passports recently, you can also keep them in hand. Fourthly, evidence to support yourself. As I mentioned earlier, if your maintenance is certified, you do not have to even bother about this. But if that is not a possibility, then you will have to have an amount of 1,270, yes, I'm just checking it in, 1,270 pounds in your bank account for the past 28 days consecutively in the last 1 month or 31 days. So that is to show that you can support yourself whilst you're staying in the UK for the first 1 month. And another document that you need is the TB testing. So how do you get the tuberculosis test certificate? So I've attached a link below, and you can also get that link from the gov.uk website, which opens you into a page that shows all the designated centers available for tuberculosis testing in different countries across the world. So you can just check whichever clinic you're supposed to go to and book an appointment 1 week or a couple of days before, depending on the availability, and make sure you take your passport, a copy of it, and 2 passport size photos with white background, and that's all you need for the TB test. So what happens at the tuberculosis testing appointment is that you will have to submit these documents, and they probably take an X-ray or any other required blood testing. In my center, it was a self-written certificate, so I had to fill in all the information myself, and the doctor would just put a seal or sign on it, and that's it. Just took a couple of hours. And the last certificate is the criminal records certificate or the police clearance certificate. And so if you have only lived in one country, you just need the PCC of that particular country. But if you've lived in multiple countries, you will need the PCC of those countries where you have lived for more than a total period of 12 months over the past 10 years, and this 10 years starts from after you have turned 18. I hope that makes sense. So in the last 10 years, if you've lived anywhere or traveled frequently to any one particular country and stayed there for more than 12 months, you will need the PCC of that place as well. So you have all the documents with you right now, and in case you are traveling with your spouse or taking a child with you, yes, so skilled worker visa entitles you to carry your dependents along with you, so they can apply for visa when you apply for visa. So just make sure the additional documents you will have to submit is the proof of relationship. It can be in the form of passport, birth certificate of the child, or marriage certificate, and any other documents which shows your proof of relationship. That is something that will be needed extra. And so these are all the documents that are mandatory for visa application. Again, you can always submit a couple of additional documents like the GMC registration mail, or the PLAB 2 pass proof, or the PLAB 1 pass proof, and a national identity card if you have any. So all of this do hold good as additional documents, but the ones I mentioned are the mandatory ones. So if you have them, you're still good to go. So how long does it take to get the visa? So the regular visa which you apply, you can hear back from them in 3 weeks. But if you are expected to join ahead and you want the visa in like 10 days or something, you can always go for the priority visa. You'll receive that in 5 working days. From hearsay, I believe it takes like 10 days. And super priority visa, you'll receive the visa by the end of the next working day. So it's super fast. And again, the cost of visa varies. You can always look up the cost of visas on the gov.uk website or the VFS Global website. And also I have put out a link in the description box below which you can use. So in my case, for the standard visa application, it cost me like 26,707 Indian rupees, which is like 267 pounds or less. And once I received the appointment, I took bronze package, which covers a number of facilities, including courier service and callback service. So that cost me like 1,450 rupees. And after that, at the VFS appointment, I upgraded my service to priority visa because I needed the visa in 10 days. So that cost me like 33,500 something. So that is the entire cost of your visa application. You can always look up the details in the link mentioned below. So that is all you need to know about visa application and COS. And if you have any doubts, you can always mention them in the comment box and I'll be happy to help. I hope this really helps, and thank you so much for watching.